Games Workshop is back at it again. This is the second YouTube channel in a few weeks that we've covered that has been hit from this weird lawsuit that Games Workshop is threatening to sue anybody who is making kind of like silly products, kind of in line with their game systems and things like that. And it's ridiculous. It actually hurts fandom and hurts all the people involved, the influencers involved who want to get involved in things like this. It's been a consistent pattern from Games Workshop. They are just anti-fan, anti-player, and they just treat everybody like pay pigs, and it's just nasty. And so this is just another example of this. Is that they've gone at Lords of War Games and Hobbies, a YouTube channel which has about 7,000 subscribers. I watched a few of their videos leading up to this, and they just seem like nice guys who care about wargaming. It's really silly that they're going at this. But this is the Games Workshop motto. They do this every single time. They've had a pattern of this for a long, long time. And I'll go over a bunch of it in detail in a bit, at risk of getting a cease and desist myself, which I've had one before from them. I am a science fiction writer, guys, so please hit the like and subscribe button. And I've got a Space Crusading trilogy here. Now, before Games Workshop patents Space Crusades, there is a science fiction novel called The High Crusade by Poul Anderson from the 1970s, which is literally Crusaders in space. So they do not have a a whole dominance of the market or trademark or anything on space crusading. It's totally fine. It is a thing, and it's a totally original work that has nothing to do with Warhammer 40K, as my legal disclaimer. So I wrote a beautiful science fiction trilogy, which is military science fiction, action-packed, lots of fun. I think if you like Warhammer 40K, you're going to enjoy this. It's in the description below. Grab the trilogy today. Support us, guys. Support our art as we are making this. I'm writing novels full-time. I do YouTube part-time, and I appreciate everybody who reads the books. This is great stuff. It's in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. How's that for you? All right, so these guys tried to sell some T-shirts. Oh, no. Oh, no. Lords of War Games and Hobbies, which they have a pretty cool logo, actually. I like that right there. On his T-shirt right there. He's hawking his T-shirt as he's talking about his cease and desist, selling his T-shirt. Good marketing. Good work, guys. And they were mocking this pretty much as they came across this cease and desist they came from. As they started the video, started talking about, so Jay, I'm going to need you to cease and desist all operations. I see you have this little, what is this, the little Etsy store where you think you can just make little Eldar T-shirts and sell them. And fandom, by the way, has had a lot of T-shirts over the years and caps and little swag things. This is a big, big part of fandom all the way around. And if you've ever been to a Comic-Con or anything like that, Anime Con, any of these, you see little T-shirts with little memes of like, sometimes I saw, one of the famous ones was like I love Star Wars, especially the time when Harry Potter jumped in his TARDIS and went at warp speed. It's those little joke T-shirts that you see all the time. None of those are licensed. None of those are paying any of those properties for selling the T-shirts. People just make those T-shirts. They're all in good fun. They're not really violating trademarks. They're not like acting like they're official products of any of these organizations whatsoever. And this is something, like I said, goes on across every single fandom. And it's like a time-honored tradition. In fact, a lot of the people at Comic-Cons, these artists sell sketches of Spider-Man and the like at the cons, and they're just allowed to do so. Marvel and DC could sue them over that and try to shut all this down, but here's the real truth about it. It's some of the best marketing for your product possible. If you have fans just making channels about your whole product and talks about your whole product and are out there doing, sort of quirky jokes about your products and things like that, that's like the best thing that could ever happen. Jay, guys, from this, if you guys want to make some T-shirts and stuff based on Justified Saga the Nano Templar, I would love for you to do that. Sounds great. Thank you. But this is it, and it's like they said they're promoting the hobby in this, and then one of them was like, "It's against the law, dude. It's against the law, Jay. That's what's wrong with it." and they're joking. They're being deadpan about this as they talk about this on their video. But it is just kind of how Games Workshop treats everybody. And this has gone on for a long time. Now, in the mid-2000s, MCA Hogarth, who is a science fiction writer, got sued over the term Space Marine, and they went through a full lawsuit, and it was determined Space Marine rightly does not belong to Games Workshop, as they didn't invent it. It was not even popularized by them. They just lifted it, which is ironic because the entire Warhammer and Warhammer 40K setting is lifted tropes from other things that are popular. That is literally what their brand is on the next front of this. And, of course, they lost that lawsuit, and Space Marine was allowed. Now, they threatened me with a cease and desist for my Space Marine graphic novel that I came out with last year. And, again, it just didn't apply because, again, Space Marine is not something copyrighted. It's just a thing that is a trope, right? It's like trying to copyright, rocket ship. I mean, what are you doing? And that's exactly what Games Workshop and these evil corporations do. They do try to just snatch up all these trademarks and the like to harass people so that they can maintain dominance in there. It's a terrible thing about our system that they're even allowed to get that far with this. Now, like I said, they go after fans all the time as well. They've been going after 3D printers who have been printing their own models and the like. And again, what Games Workshop and what Warhammer 40K is a rule system where, you could kind of use any proxies for your own models. You'd use a freaking cough drop if you wanted to. But they don't like it when that all happens, so they try to shut that down. We covered that last year when one was going down. There was a instance earlier where a channel last year got hit. The Mech Warrior YouTuber actually got hit on his channel for this exact same thing. He was selling some kind of trinket that said Warhammer, and Warhammer, again, is a medieval instrument. It is not a trademarked word or anything like that. It is literally a giant hammer that's used in war. And so, I mean, it's ridiculous how far they'll go on this stuff all the way around. One of the most famous situations involving this was with Archcast, who used to have a Warhammer in his name of his YouTube channel, and they made him remove that. It's really sad he didn't fight that because I think it would have been important for him to actually fight that just on behalf of everybody else out there. But I get why you wouldn't want to go into a legal battle on all this. So this is what they're doing one more time again. And with this, they're getting shut down with their T-shirts. Their Etsy shop has to maybe shut down because of a cease and desist because I guess they probably don't want to fight it and don't want to go forward with a big legal drama over this. When they came at me over the Space Marine thing, they actually did it through a third party because I crowdfunded it, and they tried to shut me down on the crowdfunder. And the guy just replied that Space Marine is not trademarked, so that's stupid, except for in video games, and I'm not making a video game, so that doesn't make any sense. And so they never got back to that. So they often just try to go at people first and then try to come up with a legal justification later. And if they can't, they kind of back down pretty quickly. So I'm a fighter. I hate these corporations all the way around, all the way in culture. Disney, of course, lives off the copyright system and all that. There's a lot of things that have gone into public domain too, like Zorro, like Conan, where these estates from these companies will still sue you over use of those names, even though they are technically in public domain. And because of that, you still can get into trouble through all this through various weird laws that nobody even knows are on the books. And it needs to stop because what it does is just stifle creativity. It stifles fandom. You should be able to just make your own Conan comics at this point. I mean, or books or whatever it is without any repercussions. And you should be able to make any Zorro books or whatever. And Superman's coming up in that. And even the extent in which these copyrights last is silly because none of these people who created these are remotely alive at this point, yet these corporations still use it to, of course, attack everybody else. And it doesn't help any independent artists or anything like that. If you're an independent guy like me, you're not going to go through and file trademarks or whatever for your book because it costs so much to do so. It doesn't make any sense. And so all it does is help these giant evil mega corporations who just want to mistreat people. And nobody mistreats people like Games Workshop from what I've seen. So this is really, really sad. Like I said, this is a pretty cool channel. I like checking it out. Lords of War Games and Hobbies, if you guys do want to check them out. They are in the description below. And I also have all my links in the description below if you want to check things out. And, of course, the most important thing, Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. If you like space crusading, I think you're really going to dig this. Grab this book today. I really appreciate you guys for reading and being there. We'll be back soon.